Welcome to the Turing Time Warp. I'm turinghacker, and we're going all the way back to the late 90s. It's a game by Mattel called Hot Wheels. Remember Hot Wheels? If you're born in the 2000s, you probably don't, because they're not much of a thing anymore. Yeah, they're made by the same company who makes Barbie. Remember her? Yep, she's still around. But there was always Hot Wheels. That was a thing when I was growing up. Back in the 90s, oh yeah, you set up a big track in your room. I didn't usually put it all around the house, no, but we'd put it out in the living room or something like that and just race the hell out of them. They're basically little tiny cars that, you know, were scaled and very detailed and all that sort of fun stuff. And, oh, that's a... Anyhow, you'd always race them around and crash them into each other. Usually they end up smashed up and all that whatnot. And they decided, hey, there's this video game thing. We're going to try to make one. And so they made Hot Wheels. They made a bunch of other ones too, but this is the one I had and this is the one I played. And there's only so much I remembered before I started pulling this back out, but it's an interesting game. It has a lot of very unusual techniques to try to overcome a lot of the technical barriers at that time. Maybe we'll talk about that a different time. But anyhow, let's grab a race. Well, we'll go to Grand Prix to start with. So nothing here is really labeled. I'm playing with a controller, yet it still controls a mouse thing. Like I said, interesting things that they did back in the 90s when they didn't really know a lot about video games. Sorry, Mattel didn't know a lot about video games. They still really don't. But anyhow, so these are the different places we gotta go to. This is the, let's see, living room, bedroom, garage, outside, and I never actually have unlocked those two ever. Did some testing earlier on, unlocked a few cars. Yeah, we're gonna talk about some of the stuff why I didn't unlock that many more cars and whatnot. I've never played as one of the trucks. Let's do it. I usually always went for the sleek cars, so, you know, that's what I went with. Notice the graphics. Yeah, you've probably been saying, these are interesting graphics. Wow, they're really low quality. Well, there's a good reason for that. Yeah, anyhow, basically, I don't really know how to phrase it too much, but they more or less did a similar technique to the Five Nights at Freddy's games that are all the rage lately. Well, not so much at this moment, but they were for quite a long time and pretty much still are around all over the internet. Anyhow, you're just a little car racing on a track. It's incredibly finicky and precise. I'm actually doing really well with this truck? Roadster? I have no idea what this thing is. But yeah, so the things I remember most about this game is in this level, you get to, at the end, I'll just show you at the end. I remember that. I hate that car right there. I always hit it. I've gotten a little better, but it's still hard to not hit. Yeah, it's pretty easy to die in this game, but it does definitely make it challenging. I think it is pretty consistent. I'm gonna fail this right away. But yeah, yep. Okay, let's take a quick test of that again. Yeah, I crashed a lot. I remember this screen a lot. Okay, try that once more. That car actually worked pretty well, the Roadster. I just screwed up in all the landings, which what else is new? I mean, if there's one thing you're gonna screw up on in this game, it's pretty much that. I mean, there are some things on the track that will give you troubles, but for the most part, it's just landing when you're going off a big jump. Which is a problem. That asshole cat, oh my gosh, hate him. Because his tail is actually a part of the obstacles on the track, so that will give you problems. Also, I don't know about back in the day. I mean, I used to use a control stick back when they really made those still. It was a big thing that you'd tilt forward and backward and left and right, and they were really good for flying planes. You know, for any sort of flight simulator, but car games are okay for it. I mean, it was kind of your general purpose. You had a game you didn't want to play with a mouse and keyboard, this is what you used. There really weren't too much for controllers you plugged in, at least not that I had. So that's pretty much what I used. Now I'm playing with the Xbox 360 controller. The mapping's a bit odd. Holy crap, I actually made that. That's awesome. It just froze for a second. Anyhow. Yeah, so I remembered it flipping into the TV like that. I always remember the ends of the levels in this game. Those are probably the things I remember the best. Yeah, so no crashes, no beep 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 beep. Hey, I actually did one of the medals. I don't remember which one, but it was either gold or silver. I didn't really check. Okay, this is the level I remember the most out of this game. Also, at the beginning, I'm always just staying off the accelerator for a very specific reason. When it first sets you down for some reason, it doesn't register that you are on the track. Don't know why, but it doesn't. And as I was saying, with the mapping of the Xbox 360 controller is that there's a lot of very moving things in this game. Sorry I keep getting distracted. The Xbox 360 controller, the gas is the same. Oh yeah, and you can land backwards, which is pretty neat. Because you can actually drive backwards and all your controls are inverted, but it's a bit hard to drive and I really shouldn't have tried doing that. I don't know if I've beat this ever on Grand Prix mode. I think the only way I've ever seen any of the other ones were just going through the individual time trials. Back to the mapping. Yes, the Xbox 360 accelerator button maps to the same one as to arc to the left, I believe it was. So if you're in the air, you suddenly arc. And let's just go back and just do that one in time trial. Or whatever this one's considered. But if you hit it too early and you like bump off the track just a little bit, you'll suddenly curve. It's just really weird. But yeah, I remember having my friends come over and we would play this and we try to, you know, do the best and get the best time. And whenever you unlock a vehicle in this, it's actually pretty dang cool. It's they'll show you what the actual vehicle is, and it will get captured by I think it's a wheel it's like a wheel case that they used to actually distribute some of the cars in, or it's like a carrying case or something like that. And so that's pretty neat. It definitely gives it some sense of semblance. I mean, some, you know, celebratory, wow, you did this. Did my time just go, oh yeah, I was gonna say, my time just go up, but yeah, it would have to. Because I'm not on Grand Prix mode. Yeah, the error that you're allowed is not much. Oh my gosh, I've never landed that one since I tried this out again. Yeah, and then there's these cars that it throws on the tracks, which are kind of hard to dodge because you can't pretty much see them. But this is the part I remember the most about this game. You flip into the garbage. Why I remember these parts, I don't know. But I did. Anyhow, let's just go to the next one, because like I said, I probably will never get those in Grand Prix, or at least not in any amount of good time. But, which one is this? I've never seen this car before. Was it here before? It probably was. Anyhow, let's just keep going. So yeah, the mapping's a little weird. See what I mean? I tried holding the accelerator and it arcs you to the left. Or not arcs, but causes your car to turn to the left. Because it thinks you're in the air. Why this happens, I really don't know, because that seems like a really odd choice. And it makes it incredibly hard to play. in that very circumstance. The rest of the game, you'll notice, is actually not that bad in terms of it's very dynamic. There's a lot of stuff going on. And a lot of games back in this time period didn't have that. They didn't have that at all. And so, in my opinion, this was kind of... It was a very unusual idea what they did here, but they got some really neat results. The bad thing is, the standard size for this, the one they always tried to make you do in full screen, because it only does full screen and it only does one size, is 640 by 480, which is really, really small. My computer actually kind of threw a fit when it first started up. My second screen kept blinking various colors, which were very strange. I actually didn't remember falling out the window before. But yeah, it stop with the crashing! It would flash pink and all kinds of other weird colors and have a bunch of really like gross looking dots on it from like the film grain kind of thing. You can kind of see there's kind of a grain over everything. Yeah, that sort of stuff, but just over like normal windows, and it was really strange. So it really doesn't like that. Also, it ran atrocious. I mean, it was bad. You pretty much couldn't play it because it ran at like maybe like 5 or 10 frames a second. Yeah, not good. As it is, this game, the frames per second is up and down and all around. And that actually kind of goes with the thing that I've been saying is what they did that's really odd. So, essentially, the entire game, I think, is more or less just a movie. And it's really hard to explain just shortly why I think that, so I think I'll probably make a separate video on why I think that and why it's such a weird technique that actually kind of works. But basically the problem is the graphics compression is not good for anything above 640 by 480. But the game is really small. I mean, I know you look at this and you say, oh, well, those graphics are not good and whatnot, and that's to be expected, but it's really small. Like, for the amount of movie that I'm theorizing is going on, it's teeny. It's only like, I think the entire folder was like 44 meg, which is phenomenal. You probably noticed at the beginning we had the full motion video. That was a big thing in the 90s, so this kind of more or less is almost like a take on that, which is, I think, the only reason why it's as small as it is. But, yeah. So, in this one, if I recall correctly, you end up going, because we're racing around a sandbox and all that stuff, in and out of a sandcastle. Yup, into a sand bucket. I guess you'd call it. I couldn't remember. Anyhow, yeah, so time is actually pretty good on that one. Maybe we'll take one more quick test at Grand Prix. I seem to do pretty good on all those, so we'll try her out with this car again. And I'll probably crash, and that will be the end of it, but that's okay, because this is the Time Warp. This is not a Let's Play, so not trying to unlock everything in the video. That's fine. But yeah, had friends that come over and we play this. I don't know if we ever necessarily really thought it was, like, amazing. Like, I was saying before that, we all love Tony Hawk. We loved us some Tony Hawk, and Tony Hawk 3 was the greatest thing ever. At the time, of course. But, I don't know, it always is kind of weird. That dog actually cannot hurt you, so why it's there is just to kind of make the room feel more alive, I think. But yeah, there's really a lot going on if you kind of look around as we're going. And then you kind of notice that whenever we fail, whenever we crash or anything like that, the whole room kind of stops. Yeah, that's, again, more of the oddity of their technique, but the controls are not terrible, but the precision that you have to have for landing is, oh my, it is harsh. Because it's not even that you have to land flat. Sometimes that's not enough. I actually got a gold medal on that. Holy crap. Okay, next stage. We switched cars here last time. Shouldn't have done that. Let's see what happens when we don't. Okay, I did that on purpose because I didn't want to crash. So the spinning left and right is fairly easy. Up and down is where you can spin the fastest. So that's where you will get the most. The game has a mechanic where as you do more and more tricks, you've probably seen, a little meter at the bottom goes nuts, and that causes you to actually... I always crash there. I don't think I cannot. That causes your car to actually speed up as you go. So, that's pretty neat. I never really have any idea what's going on in that tube, other than that we're in a tube. That is all I can really see there. Ooh, I actually made that. Like I said, I never make that one. This car is actually fast enough to make up for the 2 crashes that I like always hit. So... we actually might make it. It's gonna be close. Hey, we made it! Hooray! I think that'll count. It should. Yay, it counted. Okay. Oh, unlocked a new car. Like I said, lots of fanfare for doing that. So we got the purple. I think I actually had this one, believe it or not. I definitely had this one. I think that was a pretty standard one. I want to say I had this one. I want to say I had this one as well. Didn't have that one. Might have had that one. Didn't have that one. And didn't have that one. I was very much more about the ones that look like cars when I was young, so... Man. Where are we? I don't know what level this is, actually. I've never been here before. Huh. I'm almost positive I've never been here. Even as a child, I've never been here. So, this is brand new to me. Oh my, the jumps. Wow. That was, wow. Yeah, and whenever you turn. Okay, so we're racing backwards. See what I mean? It is really freaking hard because the controls are inverted and the steering on this truck is not good. So, inverted controls that are backwards. Or sorry, inverted controls that are very stiff. Yeah, that's troubling. Dragonflies? So this is like a... Is this like a greenhouse? What the hell is this? Dang it. I don't know how long this track is, actually. Like I said, I've never been here. I'm assuming this is one of the question mark stages, but I thought you went to the, like, outside ones first. Yeah, in the... You notice you kind of go for a little bit... Oh, I didn't make it. Yeah, I don't know where that was. Okay, but yeah, that's Hot Wheels by Mattel. It's a game I remember playing a lot. It was the one I remember using my control stick for. This one and Pro Pilot were probably the 2 I remember. And Formula 1, yeah. Those 3 were probably the ones I used the control stick for the most. Everything else was just keyboard and mouse. But this was... You gotta have the control stick, so... Thanks so much for traveling with me. I'm Turing Hacker. I will see you next time. By the way, this one had some really weird setup after I did that. I had to do a bunch of stuff to actually make it recordable, so... Yeah. Late 90s games, especially by Mattel, apparently are very temperamental. So, thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.